What's up, everybody? It's Professor Gnome here, and today we're going to be playing a really fun tool drop deck. I haven't seen many other people play it. I saw LDF actually do a profile similar to this one, and I thought the idea was really great, so I thought it'd be fun for a bit of a Thanksgiving special to do some tool drop and bring in the leftovers and the garbage, all for a great, amazing American holiday. Don't worry about the history of it. But yeah, so pretty much what this deck focuses on doing is using the Chuck attack. So we'll do 50 damage for every tool we can discard. We combo that together with Snorlax because it allows us to get 2 leftovers from our discard pile back into our hand. So we're doing on average with just one Snorlax at bare minimum 100 damage. But with both Snorlaxes out, we run 4 leftovers, so we'll actually be able to hit for 200 damage consistently, and only need about 1 or 2 other tool cards in order to find what we're looking for. One of the things that I included is a toolbox to be able to find that extra, like, 1 or 2 tools that we need, and I also added in the Justified Gloves, because of how common it is to run into things like Roaring Moon or running into like Charizard EX or something similar. The 30 damage will make all the difference because hitting Roaring Moon for the we'll only need the 4 leftovers to hit for 200, and then the additional 30 from the Justified Gloves will do pretty much all the rest that we need it to do, and we won't need to find that extra tool card in advance, so that'll be more like consistently useful. We also run things like Vengeful Punch in case that situation might come up. Same thing with Defiance Band and a Choice Band. We can get rid of all this stuff and throw it all away, so it's not super important, but it's good to have it in case like a niche situation pops up where we're going to want it. And we also run Evolution. These count as tool cards, so we're able to not only use them for their original benefit, but once we don't need them anymore, we can also use them for our like tool drop effect. Outside of that, we just run a Jirachi and a Manaphy just to protect our back because we need the Snorlaxes to stay alive, along with things like Bibarel and our other Trubbishes until we can evolve them. And yeah, so that's the deck list. Definitely let me know any changes that you guys would make to it. I think this list is relatively solid. I'm sure there's something I may be missing, but this is about the best that I could make it. But yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you when we get into Game 1. Peace. Alright, we're into the game, and our opponent's going to be going first. We'll see. Our opening hand is honestly kind of fine. If we find an evolution, if we find a energy, we can go put our basics into play, go for evolution, and get that going for us. We have the research to get rid of the leftovers. So, honestly, this isn't too bad. Ooh, Ekans. That's fun. I wonder if they're playing... Oh, I would assume they're playing like an Arbok deck, but I'm curious to see what, like, how they're playing it. We'll go ahead and grab the Bidoof. We'll put Artazon down, grab ourselves the Trubbish. Yeah, grab ourselves the Trubbish here. Then I want to attach this down now because I'm going to research away everything else, and we're hoping for the energy. We didn't find it, which means we're going to lose the evolution, but that's fine. We were going to lose it anyway. And I think here what we're going to do is discard away the other Ultra Ball and 1 leftovers, and grab ourselves the Bibarel for next turn. And I think that's all we want to do. Unfortunately, we didn't find the energy. Had we, that would have been really, really good for us, but we didn't. We shouldn't really be at too much threat of being knocked out this turn, or like them really being able to do too much. They can use the Artisan to find themselves... Ooh. Alright, wasn't expecting that. What is this gonna do? I'm very interested, because now I'm not sure the kind of style of build they're gonna be going for. I actually did a video on Arbok EX before, and I did it with Absol EX, and I like that build a lot, but I'm curious to see what this is going to turn into and how they're going to make that work, because this seems to discard energies, so that could still be good. Really what I think we're going to be doing here, the Justified Gloves might actually come in kind of clutch with the add at 30. So I think what we're going to do... Ooh, there's the Iono. Alright. Not totally ideal, but could work out. Okay. Relatively the same outcome for us, to be honest. Path doesn't matter, because none of our cars are rule boxed. Okay, perfect. I mean, this is totally fine for me. I'll grab myself another Trubbish. Place the extra one down. Go ahead and attach here. Put the energy on. And we'll go ahead and evolution. Grab ourselves a Bibarel and a Garbodor. So that's down. And our Bibarel is in play. So we don't have to worry about things like Iono, or even if he starts discarding cards with Ekans, it's not really a big deal. Now we just need to get our Snorlax out of the active. It's kind of the next thing, because we have 2 of our leftovers in the discard pile already. So that'll pretty much deal with everything else that we need to have happen. If he escape ropes us, that'd be pretty sweet. There's the incisors, because he still needs a way to switch too. So if he has to like escape rope us, like that'd be kind of cool. Because we can just put up like a random Trubbish, let it get knocked out, and move on with our day. Because hitting 270 isn't going to be too hard. Especially if we can find those gloves, because then we only need to technically hit for like 250. Oh. Yeah, to be honest, I feel like Charisma kind of sucks. It was a... Giovanni's Charisma was a card that I was like really excited for. But ended up just being pretty bad. There's an Ultra Ball. That's fine. We'll never need Manaphy. I can hold on to the boss's orders, but for right now it's much less relevant. So we'll go ahead, grab ourselves another Garbodor. Thin our deck slightly, but mostly it's just to get cards out of our hand, so that way we can Bibarel later. There's not much we can do here, so again, we're just going to pass our turn. And then next turn, we'll only have 2 cards in hand, because we can attach the energy onto a Garbodor, and we'll see what else we draw using our Bibarel. And even if we lose our Snorlax, it's not too big a deal. Typically, we'd actually wouldn't mind our Snorlax getting knocked out at all. That's why it's like okay to put into the active, because we can typically just use oh, okay. So that got rid of their other paths and the boss's order, so that's good. But yeah, typically it's not that big a deal, because we can always just super rot it back into play. So honestly, it's fine for us if this gets knocked out. Normally, we kind of would just prefer it. But now having to find the switch is going to get maybe a little annoying. But we'll have to wait and see. Looks like they're stuck too, and like it's kind of awkward. So we'll attach the energy here. This is about the best we can do. So we'll draw for 3. I'd really like to keep these cards in hand, but I think I just have to Iono here because we're really looking to get our plays started. So there's the Super Rod. Let's get rid of this. And we'll get rid of the other boss's orders. We're probably really not going to need it. Help us thin our hand out a little bit for our next play. And now we have, I believe we have all 4. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so we're missing 1. But we're still hitting for 150 pretty much whenever we feel like it, which is good. Then, if he does knock out the Snorlax, we can attach the Defiance Band, and that'll kind of help out a bit, depending. Sometimes it's weird, because, like, you don't want to attach the Defiance Band, because, like, it does more damage discarding it than it does attaching it. But if you're going to have something out for multiple attacks, then it works better to... Ooh, okay, so what does this do? Hold on, let me read this. Once per turn, you may switch out your opponent's active Pokemon to the bench. Oh. Alright, so your opponent gets to choose the new active, and that's kind of what makes it a little bit poor. But that's cool. I now have, you know, my attackers in play, and that's really all I needed. That's fine, too. Can't really be upset against that. Again, I really don't think Charisma's super good, but I can see it in combination with Arbok. Like, you force them to discard their energy, and then, like, that's good, I guess. I'm not sure why they went for the double escape rope. Seems like a weird choice, but okay. Does this have a like a cool attack? No. Alright. Alright, so it hits for 150. We discard 2 cards. For now, I think we'll get rid of the energy and the extra choice band. I think that's fine. Let this get knocked out. We'll throw in our new Garbodor. Yeah. So we'll put in our extra Garbodor. The one we already have in hand isn't super great, to be honest. So we'll Super Rod back in Trubbish, Garbodor, and 1 energy, just so we have them. Then what I think we're going to do is we'll Bibarel first, see what we find. There's the energy. There's the Trubbish. This isn't going to help us. We're only hitting for 200. So now, yeah, now I think we Iono. Get a whole new set of cards, see what we're able to find. Perfect. So now we have 1, 2, 3. So we have everything we need. So now we can grab everything, get ourselves back our leftovers, thanks to Snorlax. And we'll grab the last leftovers. And now we can attack for 300. Boop, 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 boop. Throwing out at all the garbage and taking it out. So now we can take 6 and 5. Got an evolution and another barrel. So honestly, didn't draw anything super great, but it's fine because again, we can always discard this evolution. So we're hitting for 200, guaranteed. And even if he chooses to, you know, make us discard cards, doesn't really matter, because we can just get rid of this other Bibarel. We can get rid of the Switch. doesn't really make too much of a difference for us. And actually will help us end up drawing more cards with Bibarel anyway. Or that. That works too. No, it really doesn't matter. We can just get rid of one Iono and a Nest Ball. Put an energy down onto Trubbish. Draw 4 with Bibarel. And then, yeah, so that's fine. So we'll get rid of this, we'll get rid of this. We'll take a single prize. We'll put in our next Garbodor. We can place that down. Go ahead and draw 2 cards with this. We'll play this down just because. Artazon out our last Trubbish, just so we have it on board. Evolve Garbodor. And then I want to save this research for one last kind of big KO later. And there we go. So that's everything we needed. That's another reason why that I wanted to kind of save that. So now I can put these into hand. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we should need one more. Yeah. So now we get our last leftovers. Put that into hand. We can discard all this. And now we're in a great position. So we'll knock this out. We'll only need 2 more knockouts. Unless he has like an EX or something like that, that's going to, you know, be more than 150 health or 200 health, then we can just keep looping our leftovers over and over again for the last 2 prize cards. And this is where, like, once this deck is set up, where you have like 2 Garbodors, your Snorlaxes, and a Bibarel, you can even use this last like Trubbish spot that I'm using right now as an extra Bibarel in case yours gets knocked out or something, and always be in a fine position to just keep replacing and attacking, dropping massive damage. And even if, since you have to discard, you're always setting up your Bibarel for the next turn. So now they're pretty much going to be out of options. I don't think there's anything they can really do, even if they get this powered up. It attacks, knocks one out, we just place in another one, and we go from there. That's slightly annoying, I guess. We can take the slow route of just energy attaching over and over, I guess. They'll deck out before us if worse comes to worse. Or eventually they'll have to knock it out. But I guess it gives them an extra turn, so that's cool. I kind of hate plays like that. It's like, I get it from their standpoint, but what else can you really accomplish? I kind of like the addition. Oh. Yo, I am the top deck god, actually. Like, has there ever been somebody who top decks better than me? Alright, so we'll switch in this, and I assume they'll just surrender immediately. We don't need to risk, like, accidentally decking ourselves out somehow. Yep, there's the concede. Hey, so we got it. That's game 1. Pretty easy once you're set up. It takes a little bit to get there, but once you're there, the game gets pretty easy. As for the Arbok build, I think that's an interesting build. I still think that Absol might be a little bit better. But I do like the idea of, like, forcing your opponent to have to, like, switch around. I think that could be interesting as, like, a one-of or something like that in the deck. Lastly, before I go into game 2, I guess, like, a test a concept. Would you guys be interested in more decks like this that are, like, more budget-friendly? I was thinking about doing, like, 1 deck a week or something like that, doing, like, a budget builds style of content where I only build decks within, like, a $25 budget range. and be able to like feature them on the channel and stuff like that, because I know that that's a style of deck that people want available to them, but sometimes have a hard time finding. So let me know what you guys think of that idea and for that kind of concept. And yeah, I'll see you guys in game 2. Peace. Alright, we're going to be going first, and so we'll see what our opponent's playing, and we'll see how our hand looks. Not a great start, but, you know, that's fine. Opening hand only makes so much of a difference. It kind of comes down to play, like, 80% of the time. That other 20%, there's just nothing you can do. You just lose immediately. But, you know, 80% of the time, you can kind of work something out or figure something out and be fine. So I see they got the water sleeve, so we'll see what they're playing. See how many times we have to mulligan. Only one. We open the Snorlax. That's kind of okay. I feel like I open up a boss's orders so often. In general, but especially with this deck, and it's weird because, like, I only run 2. But I feel like I open it, like, almost every single time. So we put the Snorlax in the active, which means we'll have to let it get knocked out or find our switch. There's the Palkia V. I think we just go ahead and get rid of this, get rid of one of these. And I think we just want to grab ourselves the Bidoof, so we can get into Bibarel, start drawing into something useful. We'll end our turn there. So nothing super great. But, you know, again, like I said, we'll see what we're able to play with. There's the Irida. Curious to see what they'll do with it. Because just by seeing, like, Palkia V star, or, like, V, I'm not really sure what they're playing. Because it could be, like, a bunch of different stuff. I would immediately assume Chen-Pal, but most Chen-Pal don't run this anymore. We didn't really get to learn anything there because, you know, tons of decks play Greninja as well. So I think the VIP will kind of give us an idea of what we're playing against and how we should proceed going forward. I love this Snorlax art so much. Snorlax being my favorite Pokemon, I'm really happy that it does get love. It looks like they're also playing Swim Freely. Did, like, something happen with this deck? Why does everybody play this all of a sudden? I feel like I've really been, like, running into this deck more often than normal. And I'm not sure why, because I really don't think it's very good. But, I don't know. Maybe you guys know more than me. Definitely let me know if you're aware of why this is getting played so often. But yeah, it's what I was saying before, kind of waiting in the downtime while nothing's really happening. Snorlax being my favorite Pokemon, I'm really happy that it, you know, it consistently gets some love, because it is a fan favorite, because he's the best. But also gets really fun card art. This one being one of my favorites, but what would you guys say is your... Ooh. There's a rare candy. I guess maybe to use that on Kingdra. But what would you say is your favorite Pokemon? And in, like... in combination with that, like, what your favorite card art has been for the Pokemon that's your favorite. And then on top of that, I'd be curious to know, like, what's a favorite Pokemon of yours that you feel like just has never gotten a good card? Because I feel like I love Donphan. Donphan's, like, one of my favorite Pokemon. And obviously we've gotten Great Tusk, but, like, even those cards have kind of sucked. So, like, I really wish we got a really, really good Donphan EX or, like, a Great Tusk EX. That would be super, super sweet. But my hope for that dwindles every month. I think we just go ahead and Iono here. Our hand's pretty poop, so let's see if we can get something better. honestly, that's not bad. So we can go ahead, Trubbish, grab ourselves another Trubbish, put an energy down, and draw 2 more cards. Alright, cool. So that really went pretty well, all things considered. We're going to be able to look for a switch on our next turn, because what we can do is we can Ultra Ball away the leftovers and either whatever we draw or the Bibarel and get ourselves into the second Garbodor. Evolve both of those, research for full 7, and then we'll be able to play whatever we get there and go into Bibarel. But thinking about it now, what I actually want to do... Maybe I'm wrong. I'm trying to think what the better play is. Is like, I'm going to do all that regardless, but then I'll be down to 1 card in hand. So then, should I Bibarel first, draw the extra 4, see if I can get the switch there and like what I get off of that, and then have the ability to... Oh. Which is interesting. So I'll put up this one. I don't think he has a way to get enough energies on the board to like knock me out or something, I don't think. I guess he just really wanted to switch. There's no way he gets 3 energies on board. Unless he like V-Stars discards a whole bunch. Now, that'd be cool. Like if he like Ultra Balls here for another 2 energies down, goes into Palkia V-Star, uses V-Star power, puts 3 onto Radiant Greninja, then knocks out both Trubbishes. And that'd be pretty hype, actually. If he goes for that play, then he's absolutely cracked. And like he's just nuts. I would kind of love to see that. I kind of hope he does that, because that'd be absolutely cracked. It doesn't look like that's what's going to happen, though. Which is a little bit disappointing, if I'm being honest. I feel like I run into Swim Freely so often lately. And it's weird, because I feel like this deck is so bad. And again, like I said, like it plays so slow, too. Alright, so we'll discard that. We'll discard the Manaphy. Ooh, wait a minute. I'm being dumb. We'll discard that. I almost made a crucial error by discarding the Manaphy. Because, yeah, we'll play that down just in case something happens that I'm not aware of. I think we want to draw the 4 now. Yeah. Alright, perfect. Okay. So, that works for me. We can go ahead and chuck all this away. Boop, 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 and doop. Knock all that out. Get rid of the Greninja. So I guess we really didn't need to play down the Manaphy, considering we're about to knock out the Greninja. But I have no idea, honestly, what people do with this deck to try to make it playable. So maybe he has something else that could, like, snipe me out, or, you know, he could run the Kyogre or something like that. So, as long as that's an option, I'm going to keep the Manaphy in play. Just as a precaution, because otherwise, there's no reason not to, essentially. I don't need it on my, you know, like, I don't need the board space. And so, like, it doesn't really do me any harm to have it. He's stuck. I won't need the switch. I think I just research here and get some cards. We'll go ahead and attach the energy. We'll toolbox, grabbing ourselves the 3 new tools. And now we're pretty set. We can attack for 250. Getting rid of the leftovers. And the Vengeful Punch. Knocking that out pretty easy. We'll take our next two prizes. I feel like I do the same kind of like prize mapping every single time. And I feel like it's just like simple to do it that way. We have the ability to Iono if we need to. We can get back 2 of our leftovers, so we can hit for 100. Which will knock this out just fine, even with the damage reduction. Okay. So, like, is the point of this deck just to stall, I guess? Like, you're supposed to just do something to manipulate getting heads over and over, and so, like, your opponent can't do damage to you? Is that how that's supposed to work? There's got to be something this deck does, because it makes no sense to me, but I feel like I see it so often, and I'm still not sure why. What is... I've seen this before, but I feel like it doesn't do anything. So this just accelerates energy, which is, like, cool, but for what? Like, the attack doesn't do anything. Unless, does this do something more? Oh, okay, so you're looking for the Hydro Jet attack after. This attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each water energy attached. So you can stack up a whole bunch of energy and then snipe something out. That's okay. That's a little cute. I still don't think it's very good, but it's cute, I guess. We'll go ahead and Iono here. We essentially have no reason not to. Yeah, because I was gonna say, because we're just looking for another Snorlax, so that way when we get the rest of our leftovers later, it'll make that a little bit easier. But yeah, we can grab the leftovers back. Boop, boop. We have all the damage we need. Just off the leftovers alone, we kind of don't really need the other tool cards in hand, but obviously we'll hold on to them in case they play another Palkia. We'll be able to just boss's orders that up, grab back our leftovers, and pretty much end the game right there. So we're in a great position. I really think Swim Freely is terrible. Maybe I'm wrong, but I have never seen this deck do good. I think it's an interesting idea, but man, I have never seen this deck perform even remotely well. So if you guys have, definitely let me know what if you guys have found a way to pilot this deck to be remotely successful. I would love to know and love to see it. I would even try it out myself. I love this. Ooh. Alright, hold on. Are we getting somewhere here? Are they cooking? PTCGO is bugged a little bit. Alright, there's the Kingdra. I don't think this Kingdra is good though, right? It just allows you to move energy onto something else. Okay, so then that's... Alright, so this is how the Kingdra combos. So you can use this, attach a whole bunch of energies onto it while it's a Seadra, and then you can attack doing 40 times for every one, and then all the water energies attached to it move on to something else. So, like, you're never actually losing them. So that could actually be pretty good. So alright, I see the vision, but it seems very flawed, to put it bluntly. Honestly, flawed is being too generous. It seems absolutely garbage. So I don't know why I see it on the ladder so often, but you know, that's cool. No worries. Sometimes people just are out here trying, which, I mean, I guess I can't blame them. But yeah, so definitely gonna just boss this up. This is the only possible threat. We'll go ahead and knock this out, and that'll be game, because there's nothing that they can really do from this point. Get rid of these three, hit it for 150 exactly. Pop. and move on. We grabbed our Super Rod, so that's cool. So I hope you guys can see the vision. Unfortunately, not able to show it off absolutely the best way that I would like to. But I hope you can see the vision of how capable this deck can be. It's pretty sweet. But yeah, I like it. I think this deck is actually pretty fun, and for like a budget build, like I said earlier in the video, like doing this is like a cheap $20 deck that you can throw together is actually really strong. It may, I would hesitate to say it's the best budget deck out there, but it's definitely a good one. I might do that actually. It's just an idea that just came into my head. How would you guys feel about doing like a tier list or like a top 5 or something like that for like budget builds for like the current meta, like something kind of grading it on what you could I don't know why I just did this. I guess I'll just grab it. I want to see if I can knock it out. Anyway, actually, I just want to do it so it's out of my hand. We'll just throw like 1 energy in there. But yeah, how would you guys feel about doing like, or having me do like a little top 5 like best, throw this energy onto this one, why not? But yeah, like a top 5 best like budget decks for like the current meta, like kind of ranking it on like what I feel like could actually bother to succeed at like a locals tournament or even something of higher level, because I definitely think that'd be kind of fun to do. So let me know if you guys would like to see that. But yeah, that's gonna be the game. So pretty easy one, to be honest. I think Swim Freely would not be on that top 5, to put it simply. But yeah, that's going to be the game. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and like always, if you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much for watching. You know, if you subscribe, that's great. If you liked the video, thank you. If you didn't like it, then I understand that as well. Feel free to let me know why. So that way I can, you know, try to make some improvements. I appreciate all of it. Anyone who comments or anything like that, I always try to respond as quickly as possible to all that kind of stuff. And I do appreciate all the feedback and all the different responses and content that and like feedback and all that kind of stuff that I've received. It's been great, guys. I really do appreciate it. So thank you so much. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.